Hello everyone, it's me. I hope you're all doing good. Today I'm drawing a chibi again. It's a little mouth. I think it's really cute. I think it's adorable. And I will tell you a few stories while I'm drawing. Mostly the one I'm going to tell you is from art school and is with a friend that we shall call Becky, which is my art school friend and is in the room right now. So let me tell you a few stories. A lot of them center around the same few people, but let's get to it. Basically, in art school, there was this sketching teacher, which I've mentioned before, who was absolutely useless. All she liked was very minimalistic stuff. As in, she liked to draw leaves and plants in a very minimalistic style, but it was not just minimalistic, it was kind of lazy. And I feel like that would be fine just drawing plants and leaves, but that's all she would draw. And she would not teach us anything else aside from the minimalistic stuff she would do. And it was really tiring and we did not like her. So, me and my friend, one day, we were just sitting there in the class, and for this day we had to draw minimalistic leaves, like always, who were particularly ugly. And so you had to do a composition with different leaves, right? And they would be drawn really lazily, just with a marker and just drawing the outline, and she would be so happy with it. And you had different options for composition, which she wrote on the whiteboard. And my friend who was drawing started to make a composition that was slightly different from the ones that were offered on the whiteboard. And so the teacher shows up and she's like, no, that's not right. And what does she do? She steals my friend's sketchbook, who is expensive. Instead of getting her own piece of paper, she takes a pen and starts rewriting everything that was on the whiteboard on there in giant and wasting paper without asking for permission at all. And then what she does is that she rips out the page and messes up my friend's sketchbook. And then 2 seconds later, she comes over to me and she looks at my paper, and the first thing that she has to say is wow, your paper has a little tiny fold right there. That's really untidy. I might remove points for this, so be careful. Just after ripping out a giant piece of paper from my friend's sketchbook and ruining it. I will never forget this. This teacher is the one that we escaped the class of. I mentioned it in one of my videos. I think it was in the school shenanigans one. Her class were just so... What was frustrating with that teacher is that she was very fake. Sometimes she would go up to you and be like, I love what you're doing. What you're doing is so great. It's so beautiful. And then she would give you a really bad grade. And when you would ask for some explanation, genuinely just explanation, not contesting the grade, she refused to give any. And she would call out students who would. So that was impossible to know how good you were doing in her class. And I hated that so much. Just very frustrating. I remember one time me and my friend were about to die because we had drawn the aforementioned leaves on pieces of paper, and every single student of the class had done so, and she put it all on the wall. And because we had to use dull colors, but most people did not know how to mix dull looking colors, and because it was on white paper, it just ended up looking like big splotches of very muddy looking colors, not really looking good. And it did not look harmonious at all, not even a little bit. And then she just stands there staring at the very ugly looking wall, and she just goes, oh my god, I'm so emotional right now, it's so beautiful. And I thought I was gonna die on that day, just die laughing. It was really hilarious. This is how we nicknamed this teacher Dior, because in French, when you mean that you love something, you say j'adore, and it's the name of a Dior perfume, so that's how we would call her. It was absolute hell. In art school in general, the teachers can be pretty hit or miss. You can meet some really useful people, and then you can meet people like this person who was not good at teaching sketching, which is really unfortunate. By the end of the year, me and my friend had made up a plan to just give back the ugliest things ever, and just even if it's really ugly, and see how they do. And the ugliest stuff we would do, the better would be our grades. I tried to give her back some really painterly style sketches we were asked because we were painting. She didn't like them. very clean, minimalistic stuff. She didn't like it. She wanted messy, quickly, lazily drawn leaves. That's what she wanted. And she would really like it. I think the most hilarious thing that ever happened was like we had to give back a full sketchbook of sketches on a different theme every 3 months, I think. And the theme was breakfast. And by that time of the year, I was so horribly depressed. So I started drawing like cute little foods. But then what I would do is that I would like add a very morbid caption to it, like telling like the viewer that I have no soul, or that life is nothing but pain, stuff like that. I even like drew a plate of meds and said, "It's time for breakfast." And it was really creepy. It was not what she wanted at all. And I remember like she was so like, it was so jarring for her that she gave me like a pretty good grade. And all she had to say was, "It's an interesting thought to summarize the like daily chores like that, like eating breakfast." And I remember I was like, oh boy, I think I've traumatized that teacher. Some people vent by like writing essays to like their English teacher. I vent by drawing creepy breakfast, apparently. Anyways, I'm gonna leave you with the speed paint. Thank you to everyone who made it that far. I hope you're liking the drawing so far. I'll see you guys later in another video. Bye bye.